Wow. You guys are just beautiful. Weird as fuck. Make no mistake. I mean, Jesus, what is with these like heads on top and like all these apparatuses on the front? You guys are just weird, man. I don't even know what you are. And I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that. So I got a feeling about something. And, you know, I usually come to these things like with no clue whatsoever what I'm going to talk about. Today, I had an idea. This session will probably suck because I came with an idea to start. You know, when I don't have any idea, they're just awesome. I think today will be awesome, though. So you guys are here to expand into more freedom, abundance, awesomeness, love, joy, peace, grace, effortless expansion of what you prefer to experience. Am I pretty close? Yeah, okay. So more of that's going to happen today. Gosh darn it. I promise. And the first key is you breathing. The more deeper that you breathe, the more you're going to get everything that comes through today. The deeper you breathe, the more you balance it out and bring yourself into that calm state. So let's be honest. Who was doing that before I said it? A couple people were. A couple people being honest that they weren't. And a couple saying, if I don't move my fucking hand, maybe he won't notice me. Oh, man. Okay. So if you weren't, give yourself a hug. Oh. That was probably very upsetting and troubling to not be breathing and not be present. Step one is to breathe. Come in. And that leads to step two, which is really a continuation of step one, which is to just come into total presence. Most of you were on and have watched the replay of the session that I did on presence, which now has become a bonus in the Conscious Creation Program. Okay? World-class, best ever. Like, it's one thing to talk about presence. It's another thing to watch and listen to someone being present. And it's another thing to actually learn and practice being actually present. That's a whole different thing. I mean, you can read The Power of Presence over and over and over while you're scratching your butt, wondering what you're going to eat tomorrow, thinking about your kids. You can go to an Eckhart Tolle seminar and listen to that little beautiful alien being talk about presence for 3 hours while you're thinking every fucking thing else. Right? To practice presence, though, to be present. Look at Andrea, everybody. If you want to see, this woman is being present right now. Look at that. I mean, she's just on it. I'm not saying that anybody else isn't. I'm saying she obviously is. Look at her. She's there. She's on. Her eyes, her ears, her heart are focused to get every fucking thing that is here right now. And she's breathing like a mofo. She's muted and I can hear the ocean. It's like putting a shell up to my ear. I'm glad to see it, Andrea. It wasn't always that way for Andrea. Nope. Yeah, I see you, Rosemary. Rosemary's even got to go somewhere, but instead of being there, she's being here too. Because you'll be there then. And daily, I can count on her breathing. Like I walk through the house, whoosh, no matter what. Whoosh. Some people are getting this, aren't we? More and more, yeah, more and more. And does it make the difference? Oh, it makes the difference. And when you ain't breathing, you can be sure, because you're going to pretty much feel like shit. So I hammer and hammer and hammer and hammer and hammer and hammer and hammer on that one. And now breathing and calming down and being present. Oh my. Oh my. And in this presence, man, we get to notice things. Now, for ethical considerations and for honoring you guys, okay, there are things that I'm talking about in other webinars that I'm doing. There's things that I'm involved in my life. I'm going to always honor. You guys made an investment in this program for us to focus on these things. However, I always share things from my life that are relevant, right? Because that's kind of what it's about, life. I'm not in a fucking ivory tower dispensing, here's how to do what I'm not doing. There are gurus in the business of that one. I'm going to teach you how to do things that I don't fucking do. So I'm finding out the elements of life, and I want to list a few of them for you. I'm going to list a few of them for you. You don't need to take notes. I know you're typing a message, Rich. That's different. So I don't want you guys to take notes. Take notes when you watch the replays. Yeah, exactly. Okay. So there's a few things I don't compromise on. Well, I don't actually compromise on anything, but there's a few things I don't skimp. I'll put it that way. My mattress, man, I don't fuck around. When it comes to my mattress, ain't no shitty mattresses. You know what I'm saying? Ain't no half-ass mattress. Like, we lay on that thing a lot, sometimes to sleep. Couldn't let that one go by. Sometimes to sleep, you know? And that's fucking important to me, man. The comfort of the driver's seat in my vehicle. One of the main considerations for me with vehicle is the driver. Like, how's that driver's seat feel? And how does it feel after an hour? And how do I feel when I get out? Okay. I don't sit in normal chairs and furniture very much at all. Those, the way that we're made to sit, like when they invented those school desks, and everybody's been sitting that way ever since, it completely destroys our bodies. Now, to do it for a little while here and there, not the end of the world, but the biggest muscles in your whole body are in your thighs, right? And the biggest veins and arteries are in your thighs. And the way we're programmed to sit in chairs makes us sit on those fucking veins and arteries. Like, oh my God, how could we do anything dumber than that, right? So Dev and I sit on the floor, knees and sit bones almost all the time. Nutrition, I am just fanatical about nutrition, fanatical about it. Now, I ain't scared to eat a hamburger if I fucking want to. I ain't scared to put down a couple shots of Irish whiskey when I want to. I ain't dogmatic, I'm just fanatical. When it comes to things that are going to benefit my awareness, my consciousness, my presence, the way I feel, self-love, man, right? So nutrition, mattress, driver's seat, my shoes. I won't wear no shoes that don't perfectly, completely support the shape of my foot the way it's made to be done. I won't do it. Dev had an awakening on that one maybe a month or so ago. Been wearing shitty shoes, stylish though, but shitty shoes her whole life. And man, she put on these shoes. She's like, okay, I get it. Shoes, mattress, nutrition, posture, these things that actually facilitate the breathing and facilitate presence. studies have been done, and Tony Robbins talks a lot about this. If you sit, okay, tell me something. Everybody unmute for 1 minute. Everybody unmute for 1 minute. I want you guys to answer. When I take on these postures, you guys tell me what I'm feeling. I'm going to do my best not to express anything with my face. You're going to see my posture. Are you ready? Okay, what is this one?
Stress.
Bored.
Huh?
Stress.
Stress. What else?
I would say bored.
Bored. Okay. I'm going to add a little bit of a face to it. Watch this.
Let's see, Andrea.
And upset.
Okay. Everybody's moving in the direction. That's the posture of depression. Okay. There's anger. There's just sadness. You can see it in the posture without seeing it on the face because these postures are fairly recognizable. Okay. All right, everybody please mute. Then there's the posture of presence. And this is what's so interesting. It's been discovered that you can make yourself feel depressed by putting yourself in the posture of depression. You can make yourself feel sad by putting on the posture of sadness. You make a sad face and hang your head and watch, your emotions will start to go there because the wires go both ways. We have always thought that happy makes me smile. Well, I discovered that smiling makes you happy, so to speak. And if you're really smiling hugely and breathing deeply, it is impossible to really think a sad thought and feel it. It's literally impossible. Now that's mind-boggling right there. Mind-boggling. So what we're talking about right now is presence and what facilitates presence, because it's the most important thing. This breathing and presence, and they're really one thing. Let us make no mistake. They're one thing. Two sides of a multi-sided coin. Yep. Okay. Is that helpful for anybody? Daggone helpful for me. Anybody? Any of that? Okay, good. I just felt to share it. Now, here's what I really want to talk about today. Intention. 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 I have touched on this a couple times in the past. And so like with presence, I touched on it. I touch on it. I touch on it. I see benefit. I do a huge exposition on presence, and it ends up being one of the most raved about sessions ever. I've talked about the breath many, many times. And then a little while back, I did a session on the breath that ended up being one of the most raved about. Like I went really deep and I covered it from every freaking angle. Okay. Another thing, when you guys take notes, this is kind of important. Has everybody seen the video that I did? It was I think I talked about it last week with you guys, but it was the shirtless one because I'm kind of getting back to my comfortable self again. I was trying to be professional for a couple weeks. But I did a shirtless session with Nina, and that was the one that she said I could share. And I talked about how to multiply and really maximize your results from this work. Has everyone seen that? Anyone seen it? Anyone seen it? It was how to maximize. And what I really went into was two main things: the breath and focusing on where you've been and where you are now, as opposed to focusing on where you are and where you want to be. Have you guys seen that one? Almost everybody. Okay. How, just do this with your hand. If you thought that session about how to maximize your results, if you felt like that was, because this is all good shit. I don't think I've ever done a non-valuable session. I literally don't. I look at all my videos like, this is all good shit. There ain't no fluff in here, I love what I do. I'm serious about it. However, if you feel like that one was as good as other sessions, maybe show me something like this. If you think it was maybe more important than some sessions, do this. And if you felt like that one was a game changer for you, in your opinion, signal me that. Okay, literally. Now, Lou, you haven't seen that one yet. Is that correct? The one about how to maximize your results? Unmute for me, bud. I got you unmuted. Say, oops.
I'm not sure whether I've seen that one or not.
Okay, so the title of it is How to Maximize Your Results from This Transformational Work, and it's as a bonus in the Conscious Creation Program. Okay? I'm going to bet you haven't, because I don't believe you could forget it if you did. Okay, so you probably haven't seen that. And there's so much there, obviously, right? Okay, so almost everybody said game changer. Listen, it's a fucking game changer. All these times that I've made that point that the recipe for hell is to look at where you are and look at where you want to be. The recipe for heaven is to look at where you were and look how far you've come. I've said that many times, and it's kind of an axiom. In a way, it's a self-evident truth that just stands on its own without explanation. That day with Nina, I was inspired to rip it apart, dissect it, analyze it, and extend, really explore it. And it is fucking mind-bogglingly powerful to look at it in that way and to integrate the breath with it. Ladies and gentlemen, I stand before you today to say, watch that one 5 or 10 times. Watch that one 5 or 10 times. Because, everybody breathe now. Here's the truth. Infinite, unlimited being, projecting out of eternity into time and space, is now, and it's you. And all the knowledge and information and wisdom that has ever been and will ever be is here now, and it is available to you, and it is you right fucking now. And now, 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 and now. And if I see you tomorrow, it'll be now. And if we talk about this next month, it'll be now. All the knowledge, information, and wisdom that's ever been and will ever be is available to you right fucking now. Unlimited, unfiltered. Well, no, that's not true, because you're filtering the shit out of it. Say that again, Rich. I'll unmute you.
Now we just need to open up the filter.
That's all there is to it. And I could call this the Unfiltered 7 program, and it would be accurate, okay? True, very true. So that's exciting. What's way more exciting is that all the power that creates unlimited universes, inexhaustible, limitless, is projecting out of eternity into time and space, fueling and animating all the knowledge, information, and wisdom that's ever been and will ever be, and that is now, and that is available to you, and that is you now. Then why is my bank account filters? Why is my relationship filters? Why do I feel filters? Why can't I filters? Why is it that when I filters? Spells are filters. Could call them spills. I'm the spill breaker. So what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to go into intention, similar to how I went into breath and how I went into the how to expand these results. And I'm going to rip intention apart. I'm going to go under it. I'm going to go down through it. I'm going to go under it. And I'm going to show you some potentially mind-melting, life-changing, powerful, radical awesomeness about intention. And really understanding this spells, filters, intention, and everything else. Some of this will be somewhat familiar if you have followed some of the greatest teachers like of all time. And I promise you, you ain't never heard this, and it's going to be very enlightening. So be totally present, totally breathe. Wayne Dyer did a multi-day, like a 7 or 8 day thing on the power of intention, right? So he wrote the book, and then he did like a 7 or 8 day seminar on it. He talked 3 or 4 hours, and he literally ripped off Abraham Hicks word for word from start to finish without even acknowledging that every word he said was directly, totally taken from Abraham Hicks' work. And that's okay. I mean, you know, everything comes from somewhere. The biggest issue, I believe, I don't know why I feel to say this, so feel whatever you feel when I say this. Wayne was an incredibly unhappy man, incredibly unhappy, and not living what he was teaching. He had not addressed the huge majority of his spells. He hadn't even addressed them. He had it all here. And he had it all. I mean, holy fuck, I could listen to that guy for days, man. I did listen to him for days. Love what he was putting out. Miserable human being. So unhappy. What about understanding intention and living it and being conscious so that we take our breathing, we take our presence, and we begin to become aware, and the filters begin to dissolve on their own more and more and more. We become ever more rapid, automatic self-spell breakers. That's, to me, that's my purpose for this program for you. Like I say, we're here to step into the infinite, unlimited being that we are and dissolve everything else, right? Okay. What if intention is infinitely more than a subject? What if it is actually a secret of how everything actually works, deeper, more prevalent, more ubiquitous and universal than any of us have ever dreamed or considered? Is that possible? Okay. Is it possible that when you yell at your kid, it's actually because you intend to unconsciously from 20 different angles, even though you say, I didn't mean to do that, I didn't want to do that? What if it was from a place of unconscious intention? What if when you sabotage the money you could have made this month, when you set that goal for yourself and then you sabotage it, what if you did so because you literally intend to not have that money, even though you think you intend to? Is it possible that you're having intentions that you know not which you have? Is that possible? It is possible. It is possible. Now, the minute we open up to a possibility, we stop knowing what we knew, which means something else can begin to happen in that area. Who here has ever thought, in the midst of your awakening and transformation on the way to liberation, who has ever thought, I kind of got this, why the fuck is this thing not changing over here? Anybody ever thought that? Anybody ever thought that, oh, if you don't put up your hand, you are lying to me? Don't do that, because you're lying to yourself. Thank you. What the fuck? I mean, I'm doing this, I'm doing this, and I'm doing this, and I'm doing this, but this thing is just the same as what the fuck? Love to blame Brian for that. His program didn't work. What if the reason for that is because you are unknowingly, unconsciously harboring the intention for it to be that way? Ooh, what if intention is more than me thinking I intend this? What if it's more than that? What if your entire life, are you breathing deep, y'all? Truth bomb on the way. What if every single thing in your life, down to the subatomic, on every planet, on every star, through the migrations of species, down to your bank account, how big your orgasms are or aren't, the intimacy in your relationships, everything you could ever list. What if that is the manifestation of all of your unconscious implicit intentions? Okay, we've all heard that the universe is a mirror. What we perceive as the physical universe is a mirror of our inner universe. And that sounds so spiritual. I like that. That's just fascinating. As long as I don't actually have to think about it or deal with it. It's amazing. Let's lay back on the hood of the car, look at the stars, smoke a joint, and talk about it. Wow, man. It's like a universe. The whole thing is like me is the reflection of me, man. Yeah, I know. Cool. As long as we don't have to fucking deal with it, right? But what if it's true? What if that's true? What if the universe, from my hemorrhoids or lack thereof, to the murmur in my heart or the lack thereof, to my bank account, to the intimacy and connection in my relationships, to how the person on the fucking subway frowns or smiles at me. What if all of it is the manifestation in the seeming outer, which is nothing but a reflection of all of the inner? All of it. All of it. I want you guys to take me seriously. All of it. Now, on some level, you do suspect that that's true, don't you? Don't you? On some level, kind of suspect that that's true. On some level, you kind of know it, don't you? But do you feel in this moment that you've completely mastered it and become explicitly aware of it on a consistent basis from moment to moment? No, you'll be relieved to know that neither have I. You might also be encouraged to know that I'm pretty fucking close. I'm living this on a day-to-day basis, more present, more aware, more present, more aware, more present, more aware, intentionally. Who's breathing? Intention. Intention. Now, ho'oponopono, which is very fun to say. Ho'oponopono. Dev's going to get on to me later for not pausing and putting the emphasis precisely, because she's Hawaiian. Ho'oponopono. But anyway, anybody slightly familiar with ho'oponopono? Anyone want to challenge me to a contest for pronunciation? I'm just kidding. Okay, so most of you guys are somewhat familiar, okay? Oh, damn it, Debbie. Okay, so if you really get down to ho'oponopono, it is a system of 100% personal responsibility, i.e., it's all my intention, whether I know it or not. And so they do this thing called cleaning or clearing or erasing. And it has to do with, okay, you guys know the 4 phrases. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. I love you. Thank you. So let's kind of take that apart for a minute and see how does this relate to it, intention, okay? I walk out the door and I see someone in a wheelchair and I think, wow, I believe in injuries. I believe in disease. I believe in limited ability and physical damage, or they wouldn't be in that fucking chair. Therefore, I am ultimately responsible. And I look at it and I say, not to them and not to the wheelchair and not to myself, I say to all that is, I'm sorry. Please forgive me. I love you. Thank you. Now, what does that exactly do? Well, it partially depends on your intention. Strangely. What we are saying with that, I believe, and I feel in my guts, what we're saying is, I'm sorry that I believe this. Universal being, universal self, person in the chair that is the universal self, wheelchair that is the universal self, hold all of it. Please forgive me for believing that. Doesn't mean I did something wrong, let me off the hook. It means undo it. Undo it. Forgive me. Let's go back to the place where you already gave before. Forgive me. Thank you for forgiving me. Thank you for this mirror of showing me that I believe these things. I love you. I choose peace. I return this to peace again. I don't see anything wrong or bad that needs to be remedied or fixed. I simply choose to return to the other side of error, to infinite knowing. Now, when I don't look at the news, when I see a headline, that's what happens for me. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you for showing me that I believe this. I love you. You guys have all heard me talk about making the implicit explicit. I rant on that one quite frequently. Look at that in the context of what we're talking about here. All good. Need to handle something there for a sec? Rich? What a thing to handle. Making the implicit explicit. What does that mean? It means bringing all that hidden, unconscious stuff out into the light to where it's seen and known, and it's no longer unconscious and driving me. So I think it was Jung that said this. Until we make the unconscious conscious, it will direct your life and you will call it fate. Until we make the unconscious conscious, until we bring the hidden into awareness, it's going to drive you. And you're going to think you're having your ass kicked by somebody or something else. Hence beliefs in external deities and somebody's doing that shit, it ain't me. Krishnamurti said, actually in the truth, there is no learning, there's no information to learn. It's a matter of making the implicit explicit, bringing it out. Thomas Paine, I love this. He said, education, like our educational ideas are insane. Education is a term about pulling water out of a well. It's pulling out the resource that's already inside. That's what education means, pulling out that which is already inside. Education in truth would be to inspire someone to become conscious, not to force information in them which hinders their ability to think and be conscious. Our educational systems as a whole are designed to prevent people from being conscious and able to think. So freedom is the opposite of freedom. Our educational system could be entitled How to Lose All Your Freedom in 12 short years. So it's easy to see how we got here. We were programmed, every fucking one of us sitting here was programmed to not think and to use our minds in the ways that's totally the opposite of what the mind is. Love you, Rosemary. And to be prisoners of our unconscious. And we have been. We've done a great job of it. So freedom lies in becoming aware. Breathing, step one. Rising into presence and then beginning to look at these things. To ask questions of possibility in the fields where we actually think we know something. Wow. Does this put this in an even more like expanded, helpful perspective, what we're actually doing and why we're doing it? Okay, so intention is your ability to say, this is how it is. You intend. And everything you see out there is what you intended into it with your infinite creative power. All the things that you believe is all you ever fucking see. I mean, you know how money is, right? Check your bank account. You're right. The only thing is, you'd be just as right if you believed something totally different and there was $500,000 a month cash flow. You would just be knowing that. It's no difference. It's no different. So one thing you can do right now is literally just start asking questions that help you to not know. Why is money showing up in my bank account and surprising and delighting me more and more? Why is money showing up in ways that I never could have expected or planned? Why am I loving the way money is showing up more and more magically and just supporting me? Why do I enjoy the magical ways that the universe delights me by providing for my needs in ways I never could have imagined? That's not bullshit affirmations, y'all. Those are unknowings. Those are infinite possibility. Those are intending. I don't fucking know what is. And I'm intending that what I prefer can happen. You know what's interesting about that? When you do that, you actually pull the power that you permanently placed. You flip the switch to my money account, my bank account is here. You flipped that switch so many years ago on so many topics that you don't even fucking remember. You don't need to go do 42 years of therapy to find every belief and everything that you have and undo them one at a time. That shit will drive you crazy. And I don't have 14 billion years to spend undoing the 14 billion years of belief creation that I did since I big banged all over myself. If you do, more power to you, but you probably don't because you're here with me. So what you can simply do is ask a so look at this. Look at your money situation. Who would like to be experiencing more freedom in the money abundance, purchasing, buying, traveling in that area of space? Who would just like, would that be fun? That would be fun for most. Okay? Whatever it is for you, Maybe it has nothing to do with money. Maybe it's something totally different here. It could be a relationship. Doesn't matter. I'm going to talk money for 1 minute here. So you can, with what I just said, if you back up and you're breathing deeply and you're being present, you can deduce rather easily that you probably have 1 or 2 or 37 million things that you think you know about money, right? That you intend right fucking now. They're running full power. You flip those switches. Somebody said something about money when you're 2 years old. You didn't even remember that one. And then when you're 3, grandma said, rich people are selfish, greedy bastards. Flip that switch. Flip. Millions of switches flipped on the topic of money. They're all sitting there, and all of your infinite, unlimited power is flowing through those switches into exactly what you fucking have right now. I'm going to go further since Lou didn't raise his hands on that one. I'm going to switch over to relationships. Who here could enjoy more love and connection and intimacy and harmony in any or all of your relationships? Who would totally enjoy and dig that one? Relationships. Okay. More harmony, more peace, more connection, more honest, naked, transparent, radical fucking honesty and a willingness to hear theirs too. Okay? Can you look at your emotional relationship bank account reality right now, and can you fathom and interpolate, just so I can sound intelligent, interpolate and extrapolate some of the points that I have made about intention and implicit, unknowing, unconscious things driving us? And can you imagine that you have 1 or 2 or 10 or 37 million little switches flipped about how men are and how men are supposed to be and how women are? Crazy bitches. You know how women are. You know, and you can't trust them. They'll just fuck around on you. The minute you turn your back, they'll like, men, they'll tell you anything to get what they want, and then they're gone. Now, I could go on and on and on with a billion of those, right? Okay, if you let somebody know how you really feel, that's when they leave. They take advantage of you, or they start to treat you like shit, or they leave. Okay, so I just got a yes, and I'm really pounding this nail here. We can look at our money reality and we can say, I have 1 or 2 or 10 or 37 million little switches flipped, all implicit, completely forgotten, unconscious, hidden even maybe from my view right now, that are dictating my exact financial reality. It's not a fucking mystery. It's not. No, it's fucking obvious. You're doing it. You're doing it. Ain't nobody doing it to you. And look at your relationship stuff. Every glitch, every misconnection, everything that happens again and again and again. Utterly, absolutely, obviously, unquestionably, unfucking deniably me. All the knowledge, information, and wisdom and power that creates universes, all the knowledge, information, wisdom that's ever been and will ever be, and all the power that creates unlimited universes, inexhaustible, available to me right now, flowing into me right now. It is me. All of it. And anything is possible with no limits on any of it. And I got this shit. What the fuck? And I got this shit. What the fuck? Now, that's just 2 areas: money, relationships. Anybody ever notice how money can affect relationships? Oh, it can. Oh, it can. Oh, it can. Number 1 cause of divorce? Financial stress. Been that way a long time. So there's a whole nother set of overlapping switches of unconscious intention. And we just look and we go, what the fuck? And then Brian is saying infinite, unlimited possibilities. Yeah, well, that shit ain't changing. So how long would you like to take undoing, you would go find all 37 million switches on each topic and so the power of not knowing arises from presence. When you're present, you're seeing what is as it is. Not what you decided about it, not what you get triggered, not what you think. You see what is. And from there, you can focus on what you prefer to experience next. When you're not present, everything is knocking you from every fucking side all the time, and you're a victim of the whole thing and why I was doing that to me. You start to become present, you start to say, wait, what if that is me? Is this being beneficial? Is this being clarifying, empowering, helpful? Oh, yeah. I love it when that happens. Okay. Game-changing shit now. Game-changing shit. I'm not apologizing that right now I ain't doing no spell breaking because we are undoing so many things. Okay. So now let's back way up here for a minute. Just in case I'm naked, I'm not going to step too far back. Infinite, unlimited, eternal being projects out of eternity into time and space. At the eternal level, nothing changed, nothing happened. You are safe in Jesus's lap in heaven forever. Unless you prefer Buddha or whatever. That's all. It doesn't matter to me. It doesn't matter to him, her, it either. Tell you that much, no matter what they say. You are that. And you will always be that, and you can't be harmed, killed, and that's why it's so fun to pop over here and risk death every second. Now, projecting out of eternity into time and space, what is it that's projecting out of eternity into time and space? All the knowledge, information, and wisdom that's ever been and will ever be. It is unlimited light expanding in all directions simultaneously without end. Inexhaustible power and information, coded and splitting into ever more complex possibilities for the purpose of experience, and splitting into seemingly separate cells of awareness that we call me. And every drop of the ocean contains the essence of the whole ocean. And I am that. And you am that. Which means you are all the knowledge, information, and wisdom and power inexhaustible, projecting out of eternity, time and space, expanding in all directions simultaneously, which means that you have direct effects on the farthest star and all of the space between you and that, with no time and no space actually present. It's instantaneous. It's all now. And what is available to you? All the knowledge, information, and wisdom that's ever been and will ever be, and all the power that creates universes that will ever be, is all you. It is all available to you. It is all now. The odds of any of us fully allowing that completely, utterly, and totally in right now is right up next to zero, because the minute you did, you'd be back in boring ass eternity again. And you build in some safeguards so you wouldn't let that happen too easily. However, most of us would like to get a little bit closer back to that truth. A little bit more of that freedom, a little bit less of this. So what I'm talking about today is how to become aware so that you can do that. Now, you could take everything I say today and you could be utterly, totally, completely fascinated, mind blown, and not change a fucking thing. Or you could take this all the way down into your testicles and your ovaries and your lungs and your marrow and your butt cheeks and your toes and your fingers. And you could begin to use this information. Now, wait a minute. Use this information? When I listened to the last 12 programs I heard about intention, I didn't really hear nobody tell me exactly how to live it in a level 5 way. How about if I tell you? You ready? Ask fucking questions. A question is the opposite of knowing. One reason why I don't like affirmations, well, is just because basically they suck for almost everybody. Number 2, it's another knowing. It's another knowing. And now you're trying to force out what you know with another knowing. I don't know, man. But if you knew for sure, you know, I would prefer to have more cash flowing through my existence. That is something, it's vague, it's general, and it's moving in that direction, right? But it's not, I hereby have $5,000 a day of income. That's my affirmation, goddammit. And it's in direct opposition to everything that I think and believe that I know about myself and what I deserve. But if you ask the question, why is my entire financial reality changing more and more in the ways that I prefer? If you ask that question and you feel it, and then before your mind can really finish flowing its energy with that question, you ask again, or you ask a slight variation of it. I want you to notice the first thing that happened. Who's breathing? Who's present? Who's tuned in? Okay. Did you notice that in the second that you started to ask the question, it was the first time in your fucked up, miserable life that you actually withdrew some of your infinite power from the pre-existing knowing on that topic? Breathe. And I'm going to ask that question again. You know, they say that love and fear can't coexist. Because if you're loving, you've withdrawn your energy from fear. You can't love and fear at the same time. You can't. If you're loving, no fear is present. A room can't be light and dark at the same time. Of course, darkness doesn't exist, but that's a different topic for a different day. Room can't be light and dark at the same time. You can't have fear and love at the same time. You can't know your financial reality and be curious about it at the same time. So in the very moment that you introduce curiosity and you open a question that moves your mind in the direction of the field of landmines of all those switches that are all switched and have been switched for decades, to formulate that question, you are automatically pulling some of that energy out of those switches and aiming it into the question. Now I see little bits of like dawning something here. I don't think you guys are, you're either underestimating what I'm saying or you're not fully seeing the implication of what I'm saying. Imagine that all of your life there was a horror in your life, a nightmare. It was like your own personal Godzilla chasing you around. And I'm talking like this, whatever that sound, you know? And I mean, terrifying, imminent death, imminent threat. Almost all of us carry massive unconscious anxiety almost all the fucking time. And it is buried so deep because it is so fucking painful. Does anybody know what I'm talking about? Has anybody ever noticed that there might be anxiety? Like sometimes that maybe something we're holding down? Almost everybody. I believe it is true for everybody until they deal with it. Most of it is buried. I've told this story before. I want to touch it really, really fast. About 4 years ago, maybe almost 5 years ago, I had already had my miracle. I was living this incredible miracle. And one night I woke up in utter fucking panic. And I breathed and I calmed myself down. And the next night it happened again. And I had this realization, oh my fucking God. This shit's been here my entire life, below my conscious awareness. And it's because I dealt with some of the gigantic monsters in my life, because they're not there screaming anymore. They're gone. I was able to hear this one. You guys relating it all to what I'm saying? When you've moved the mountain, you can see the foothills. Like, fuck, they're big too. But I couldn't even see them because the mountain was in the way. We deal with some of the mountains and we find out, oh my God, there's still these very significant things here. All right. Similarly, here's this Godzilla chasing you around your entire life. You could make it a Frankenstein or a Dracula, whatever you prefer. And there's always this imminent threat all the time. And you're like kind of hiding from it, and you make yourself not see it, and you're trying. And then one day, you realize that something is plugged in to you. And you go, wait a minute, there's this plug plugged into me. What the fuck? And you look down and you find the plug, and it's plugged into you, and you follow the wire. And what it was, that thing that was chasing you around, terrorizing you your whole life, is just an inflatable doll, and you're the power source. Unplug. I just ought not be having this much fun, but I'm going to keep doing it anyway. You guys get that? You guys get it? That shit was me. It was me the whole time. I was the one doing it. Okay, well, liken that to this. Who the fuck do you think is fueling and animating all of the current and electricity and power, all the knowledge, information, and wisdom that's ever been and will ever be, and all the power of the crazy universe that's flowing in through all those switches, that's creating that manifestation that you've hated for the last 40 fucking years? It's you, through your intention. Unconscious intention is the only thing making any of it happen. And then we say, I intend to change this. And you plan to use 0.01% of your power, which is your conscious awareness, to undo what 99.97% of your infinite unlimited power has already masterfully built into place. And you wonder why it didn't work. Game-changing, foundation, life-changing, holy shit, let's change it all today stuff, y'all. So watch what happens. All this knowledge, information, and wisdom is flowing through me, and all this power is flowing through me through all those unconscious switches, making exactly what I have. And I look at that area and I say, I'm pulling out the fucking plug, monster. You know how I do it? I say, what else is possible on this topic? I already know this. What else is possible? Why is money showing up in ways that I couldn't even understand? Why is money showing up in my account every freaking day that I never could have even expected? Why is this happening so magically? Why is the universe surprising me with unexpected income and gifts in ways that surprise and delight me? Why is this so effortless? It's not just easy, it's effortless and magical. Why is it getting easier every day for me? Why am I being stunned and amazed and delighted by how people are being attracted to my opportunity, to what I'm involved in? Why are people coming up and saying, hi, don't you have anything that I can swipe my credit card with you for? Why is that happening so magically, so beautifully, so effortlessly? Why are my relationships more intimate and connected? Why is my love and my intimacy flowering and expanding in all my connections with people? Why are people around me more inspired to be harmonious and loving and have fun connection with me? Why is this happening? And why did I finally let this in? Why did I finally decide to not know about them fucking switches anymore and start to direct my energy this way? Do you see? You guys tell the truth. You're feeling better, aren't you? You fucking feel that, don't you? You feel that shit, okay? And I'm not even doing it near like what we could go into with the true awesome energy that I get into sometimes. What we just did for this whole time that I'm talking about this money thing, I've withdrawn some of my power from the 37 million switches. How about them apples, y'all? I pulled some of the power out. I unplug, but I didn't have to go find them. And if I just knew what was wrong, I could figure this out. And I could... No. Ain't no figuring that shit out, right, Andrea? Ain't no figuring that shit out, baby. No. Oh, what would I prefer? Why is that happening now? Why is it surprising me and delighting me the way my higher self, these universal possibilities are just popping in and having what I want show up more and more? And why do I feel so amazing doing this? Awesome, Davey. This is a powerful key distinction between quantum questions and affirmation. Hadn't got that before. Oh, an affirmation is just another okay, I've got my 37 million fucking switches here with deep grooves, and I am going to plant another one. And maybe, hopefully, some of that power will switch over to this. Maybe. Wow, actually, I'm lying to myself saying I have $10,000. I have $100,000 in the bank flowing every day. No, you don't. But if you ask the question, why do I? Very true, Rich, and this is core for that. When you ask these questions in this way and you unplug the power from where it was going and you reroute it into this with a question, this is what's so fucking crazy powerful about it. We've all heard this many times. The brain doesn't know the difference between what's happening and what's imagined. Well, they could actually go a little bit further and actually realize that's because it's all imagined. It's all imagined. Everything you got is imagined. You intended to fucking imagine that, so that's what you get. Oh, changes everything. Changes everything. And when you do it in question form, the brain goes, I don't know. Let me figure out why. And it starts to go that way. So now it's aiming all the knowledge, information, wisdom that's ever been and will ever be, and all the power that creates all the universes. It's aiming it into the creation of that. For as long as you're holding it. You can undo 37 million switches in 2 minutes. Potentially. Now, I didn't say that it would happen. These claims have not been evaluated by the Frankenstein Diaper Association because it doesn't. The question is, how much of your energy will you pour into the questions? How much enthusiasm will you pour into the questions? This is so far beyond affirmations. It's so far beyond visualization, and it takes the best of both of those, and it goes to the truly to the quantum level. You're aiming today all the knowledge, information, and wisdom that's ever been, and all the power that creates all the universes. You're aiming it into what you have and what you have had. Right? That's what you're doing. Your life, your bank account, your emotional bank account, your health bank account, all of them is the sum of everything you think and believe that you know about those things, which is all of your unconscious attentions on all of those topics. That's all it is. That's all it is. I'll come to that in just a second, Dev. That's all it is, guys. You getting that? Are you getting it like never before? That's the most important thing I can ask you. Are you getting this on a deeper, higher, further level? Okay. You seeing that this can actually change everything, even the stuff, or maybe especially the stuff that nothing else has changed. Okay. Amen. Amen. This is what changes everything that hasn't changed. You guys have been asking for this information. And I invite you all right now to deeply, either tearfully or joyfully or dancingly, I encourage you to fucking acknowledge and celebrate. You've been asking for this information and it just came to you without you saying it to me. Woo, baby, because if you don't look at where you are and where you want to be, if instead you look at where you were and you look at how far you've come, you're going to get more of that. Me too, Andrea. All right, so Davey asked me a minute ago, what are we bypassing with quantum questions, brain comprehension-wise? Now, I understand the question. I'm going to answer a slightly different question than the one that you asked, because the answer to that question will literally only give you fascination. All right, so what are we actually doing? What are we actually doing? And what is it creating when we do this? We are taking the energy, the knowledge, information, and wisdom, and the power that flows through us has been going through our filters, through all of those switches of everything that we think and believe that we know, into the manufacture, creation, and making of everything that we have. So everything that we have is the physical, seemingly physical manifestation of everything we think and believe that we know, all those filters. And what's it made of? All the knowledge, information, and wisdom and power that's ever been. The quantum stuff. When we ask the question, we stop knowing. Simultaneously, we withdraw the power from that inflatable monster. And now we are aiming the knowledge, information, wisdom, and power directly into what we want to experience in a way that doesn't introduce resistance. In a way that doesn't introduce resistance. In a way that doesn't introduce any resistance. Why is it true? And the brain, you're asking the first question, the brain goes, what? Huh? Why the what? Why what? And while it's trying to formulate an answer for you, you hit it with another question. Well, wait, money showing up in my account that and people are being nicer to me, and people all the brain can do is try to give you the answer you asked for of why it's true. Now, watch this. The reason why you kept getting what you've been getting is because your brain and mind have been focused on giving you what you already were asking. All of your intentions are only all of the questions that you've ever asked so far. Why am I still fat? Why can't I lose weight? Why is it that I can get so close to somebody but not anymore so? Why do the best relationships always end up in pain? Why does I lose money when I make it? Why? All you're getting is all those unconscious quantum questions, which are your intentions. So by asking a conscious question, the brain simply says, oh, wait, now we have money showing up. Let me figure out why. And as it goes looking for why, guess what? All your energy pulls out of all those switches and goes down these new switches of why do I have money? Why is everything getting easier? Now, if you sit and allow yourself to doubt this, you have the right and the freedom to do so. If you do, you'll be instantaneously feeding into the old switches again. You will have plugged the monster back in with a new one, with a new switch added in. Why didn't I use those questions when Ryan gave them to me? Why can I not even get that right? Now that's layered into all the other fucking switches. But if you would just literally, I mean, it's this simple, y'all. Step 1, breathe. Start to become present. Step 2, ask some fucking questions that presume what you prefer. End of story. End of story. Who here has ever spent a minute or two doing you some quantum questions? Who here has ever spent energy? Who here has ever felt it working a little bit? Anybody? Who here thinks that maybe if we did it more, it would work more? You know, what if we just made that our way of living? Wait a minute, what? Find something that works and do it? I don't know. That doesn't compute at all, does it? You got something, Rich? I'll unmute you. You just relax. What you got?
Knowing how to format them now really helps. But ask questions that you presume, or that, yeah.
Yeah, that you what you prefer.
What you prefer.
Exactly. Ask questions. She's awesome about that, among other things. Ask questions that presume what you prefer, and I would not make it a dollar amount. I would not make it a specific number, a specific weight, I wouldn't do that, because now that you start to add something that could create resistance. Okay. Now, I've had more than one situation that was literally absolutely impossible, no way out. Shit has hit the fan. I got no way out. And I have gone into these questions and floated in ways that surprise and delight me into exactly what I prefer. I speak from intense experience. Mine says now, well, what if I do it and it doesn't work? Well, what if we actually also remembered that we might get something that isn't exactly what we were preferring, especially if we're looking for something specific to occur. What if the thing that happens that isn't exactly what we wanted was actually a stepping stone towards it? And then we said, no, that's not what. Now we're back to our switches again. So I would say step 3, if we want to step 3, especially if we ask for something that was more specific than ideal. Quantum questions ain't specific. Why do I have $5,332,000.11 on October 33rd? You just put yourself up for so much resistance. Okay? But how about this? Why suddenly do I have more money than I need? Why, for the first time in my life, am I experiencing more money than month? Why is this so much easier than it was? And how and why is this happening in ways that surprise and delight me that I never would have even figured out or formulated for myself? You see how that presumes what you prefer without over-specificating yourself? Yeah. Everybody, let's pick a topic right now. Let's pick a topic. Let's pick a topic. Something you really don't like the way it is. Let's be honest. You can find one, right? Can you find one? Can you? Can everybody find something in life they don't really like the way it is? Or are you guys too fucking spiritual for me? Okay. Okay. Now, picture the way you would prefer it to be and feel a little bit of how you would prefer for it to be. Hey, Jill. Were you on and hearing, or were you actually completely off? You were off? Oh, you just missed the best, and I didn't record it, and I'm just kidding. Hey, best session ever. Best session ever. Look at it. Look at the nods. Oh, you're gonna love the replay on this one, girl. Y'all better be like Brian. Upload that fucker now. You don't have it up yet, Brian? Upload that fucker now. Okay. Feel something you really wish was different. And then just look in the direction generically of how you would prefer it to be slightly different. And then ask yourself something that presumes that it is the way you prefer. And slightly generic, not too specific. We're not putting numbers and, why is it? Why am I having people show up so much more kind to me? Why is more money literally showing up for me like daily, surprising me? Unexpected money showing up in my account, people feeling inspired to give me. Why is this happening, and why do I feel so joyful watching and experiencing it happen? Why am I finding myself feeling so much more confident in my conversations and being so much more raw and naked? And why is that actually flowing into more peace and harmony and intimacy just the way I want it? Why do I feel so much more confident and courageous stepping forward and speaking and sharing my truth in the ways that I've always wanted? Why, when I get ready to take one of these actions, do I actually feel more confident and I don't even know why? I just feel it. Why is that happening? And why am I having such a blast doing it? Ah. Oh, you feel that? Like instantaneously you unplugged another monster. Baby girl, I'm gonna go just a little bit longer. Would you please fill up my water, please, darling? I'm so in the middle of this rant. I want to stay with it. Thank you, love. So the brain goes, okay. Everybody's talking about rewire your brain. Rewire your brain. Techniques for rewiring your brain. Well, kind of, but not. How? And how, most importantly, in the level 5 way that's actually going to create what I really most want and allow in even more than I would have imagined. Well, damn, what a worthy question. What a valid and valuable way to go. I'm unplugging my knowledge, information, wisdom, and power from the inflatable monster that I had programmed with everything I think and believe and know and intend that's been chasing me around, giving me exactly what I fucking asked for. Unplug. And now I'm plugging in my super being partner. Thank you. Thank you, love. Why does water show up in magical ways that surprise and delight me? I've started a water party. Yay. Oh my God. It's almost universal. Oh my God. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Now, is everybody else upping their water consumption recently? Everybody upping their water consumption? Everybody upping their air processing? Okay. Good. Good. Okay. I kind of feel like that's enough. And what I've done has set the stage that if you guys stay breathing and stay present for the rest of your evening, this is going to continue to expand inside of you with insights, epiphanies, awarenesses. I want to encourage you as you revisit this. I want you to contemplate some of the monsters, some of the plug-in monsters that have been chasing you around. Okay? Don't give that a lot of energy. Just like let yourself look in the rearview mirror. Oh, yeah, that shit was me. Holy fuck. I secretly kind of suspected it was me the whole time, and now I know how I was doing it. Like, that's clarity, man. Okay? I also highly encourage you to just contemplate, allow yourself to reflect a little bit on the fields of switches. That's all it ever was. It was just fields of switches. You flipped them one, and it made this pattern. And that is the neural net in your brain that's creating what you have. It is taking all the knowledge, information, and wisdom that's ever been and will ever be and directing it with all the power that creates universes directly into the manufacture and manifestation of exactly what you have. That's how simple this shit is. And reflect on that. You know what? That's my shit, and I choose peace. Look what I created. I choose peace. There's an intention for you. Look what I created. I choose peace. And every time you do that, you minimize some of the chatter and the disturbance and the electrical charge. And then the questions take that same energy and focus it through the lens of mind, through the formed shape of the question into what it is that you prefer. So you know what? I'm going to close with one more image here. I've ranted on this many times. I've never really pulled it into focus exactly in this way with this much extrapolation and elucidation. Oh, I love them words. Okay, so check this out. The infinite, unlimited being that is projects out of eternity into time and space through the projector that we've talked about in previous programs, right? Through the projector. The projector holds the code of the pattern of perfection, which is the life that you chose, which includes the universe and the stars and the migration of the birds and how old you're going to live to be and what color your hair will be and, you know, your nose length and all of it, all of it, all of it, all of it, all of it. The whole fucking universe is contained in the movie that's loaded in the projector. The lens of the projector is the mind. So all the knowledge, information, and power, light, projecting from eternity through the projector goes through the code of the pattern of perfection, which is the movie that we're going to watch this lifetime, and it goes through the lens, and the lens is the mind, and you have master control over the mind. You just got taught how not to. And you got taught that you don't, and you get taught that he makes you mad and she makes you sad and they make you do this and we abdicated all of our responsibility. We let go of the mind, and now the media and the news and marketing directs our mind down all those roads, flipping our switches for us. And what you can do at any moment is grab the lens of your mind and make it go concave or convex and zoom in or zoom out anywhere you fucking want. And you can take all the knowledge, information, and wisdom that's ever been and will ever be, and all the power that creates all the universes, and you can shape the lens with a question that aims all the knowledge, information, wisdom, and power into the shape that you want it to be with the question. Ooh, clarity. So all that you've ever been doing is aiming all the knowledge, information, and wisdom that's ever been and will ever be, and all the power that is through your lens unconsciously into everything you have. And there it is. It's sprayed through the fire hose of unlimited power into everything that is. All that is the outcome of all of your unconscious intentions, shaped by an endless string of unconscious questions. So now we're doing these conscious quantum questions that consciously, intentionally aims it into what you prefer, simultaneously withdrawing it from where you've been aiming it forgottingly, ish. Pretty fucking groovy, huh? Yeah. Now who's going to go do it? I'm going to be watching. I'm going to be listening. I'm going to be watching in the Freedom7 chat, which has been remarkably quiet considering that unbelievable session last week, I must say. I'm going to be watching. Yes. What you got, Kate? I'm unmuting you.
I just wanted to share with you guys that I had this little friend with us today to eliminate my static. I came with the power of intention today, and this little guy's been hanging out. It's my amethyst crystal ball. It's both of our birthstones. And wow, what a helping hand today for complete and total clarity across the board, I think. Can we get a hands up on that? Across the board?
Yay!
Yeah.
What a beautiful thing. That's a beautiful piece too, man.
So I just wanted to share that we've had my friend hanging out here, our friend hanging out, and I do believe lent a lot of clarity.
Nice. Very nice. So I've shown quite a bit of this before. These are on one on each side of my computer monitor.
Ooh,
some Brazilian amethyst with a little bit of quartz thrown in. I'm all up in that with you. Me and my computer communicating right through that clarity.
Yes. Love it.
Mm-hmm. So, boys and girls, what do you say that we go off and ask some questions? What do you say? Let's don't know so damn much. You see the fruits that you get from what you know, guys. And you know today more than you ever had. No, let me ask. I know the answer, but I want you to answer it for me and for you. Who today knows more unquestionably, with more certainty, that not only that you have created it all, who knows it on a whole new level today, that you were creating it, it's been you the whole time and exactly how you were doing it. Okay? Okay, now that is a worthy outcome, boys and girls, ladies and Germanians. Okay? That is a worthy outcome from a session. Who knows now beyond the shadow of a doubt, even though there could be doubts creeping around about other things that have been there for a long time, because you can undo those with one question. Who knows beyond the shadow of a doubt that you have the power to actually turn it around with more clarity and more certainty than you've ever had before today? I want to see. Okay. Phenomenal. And guess what? Me too. This clarity that comes through to answer your questions, whether you ask them or not, I get it too. What a beautiful thing. I love you. Thank you for being on. Group hug. Thank you for being on. Thank you for being in. Thank you for being present. And this presence that we come together with, this presence and this intention that can make this kind of an elevating thing happen. Okay? I dare say that it is probable, I'm fairly sure of it, it is highly probable that this is the most powerful, clear, and complete picture of manifestation, of intention, the truth of it, the roots of it, the function of it, the outcomes, and how to turn it and make it conscious that has ever come through any freaking teacher on the planet up until now. It's entirely possible. And we just fucking got it. So what does that say about you? What does that say about you? I mean, I'll take it. It came through me. High five, Brian, you bad mofo. Shit. And naked too? Damn, makes us all want to get naked. But what does it say about you? That you manifested this shit today. Now, what you do with it is another question. I will, as soon as I hit end, I'll have it converting and I will upload it as quickly as I possibly can. I have my my network marketing training course starts in just over 2 hours, and I have a promise to a beautiful 6-year-old, well, an infinite unlimited being disguised as a beautiful 6-year-old boy, that I'm going to take him over to do some waves across the street between. So I'm going to haul ass. What I'll do, I'll have it converting. I'll head out. When I get back in, the converted file will be on top of my computer. So in 2 hours, it'll be uploading, roughly 2 hours, it'll be uploading to YouTube. I love you guys. You're amazing. You're awesome. You're brilliant. You're infinite. I'll see your comments about your breakthroughs, your miracles, your ahas, and your awesomeness in the Freedom 7. That was a not too subtle hint. And I'll see you guys next week. Aloha.